Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I said good morning.
Good morning.
I think we're
Well, have
ready.
we got a song for you? Here we go. Somewhere on the planet, it is morning. Somewhere on the planet, it is the afternoon. And somewhere on the planet is the evening. But right here, it's good morning. This is God.
This is God.
I will be handling all your problems today.
All your problems today.
I will not need your help in any way. No way. So have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is God.
This is God.
Once again, I will be handling all your problems today.
All your
Yes,
problems today.
I will not need your help in any way. No way. So have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. And later on, it'll be good evening.
Good evening.
This is God.
This is God.
I will be handling all your problems tonight. I will not need your help to make things all right. So have a good night. Have a good night, and I hope you sleep tight. Have a good night. Stephen.
Yeah. Bring it. Mr. Stephen Bear.
Be still and know that I am God. Yes. Once again, I will be handling all your problems today.
All your problems
Yeah.
today.
I will not need your help in any way. No way. So have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good night. I hope you sleep tight. Have a good night. Have a good life. Have a good life. Have a good life. Have a good life. After life. After life. After life. Y'all have a good after life. Thank you.
Well, I think we need to fill up a few seats in here, so let's call on some help. Join us,
You
please.
can sit during this one and join us.
I'm calling on angels. Now come stand by me and show me the strength I am meant to be. Come lift me up, help me to soar up through the heavens beyond earthly roar. I'm calling on angels. Come come stand now by me. Please join when you can. I'm calling on angels. Come now, help me see the power of Spirit unfolding as me, shining so bright, lifting above, eternal light of your perfect love. I'm calling on angels. Come now, help me see. I'm calling on angels. Let me hear you sing and show me the comfort inside of your wings. Let heavenly harmony lift up my ears, your sweet lullaby, remove any fears. I'm calling on angels. Let me hear you sing. I'm calling on angels. Now come flood this space with heavenly presence and divine grace. A mist of pure love now gently fall, and perfect peace descend on us all. I'm calling on angels. Now come to this place.
Good morning. And welcome to Unity. My name is Jennifer Hooker, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our 9:30 service this morning. If you are experiencing Unity for the first time today, whether here in the room or online, we are adopting you into our spiritual community, and we truly appreciate you being here with us. We regularly join in affirmative prayer statements during our service, and most of those are on the inside front cover of your bulletin as well as on the monitors. Before we begin our service, please take a moment to check your cell phones and pagers and be sure they are completely off so it won't interfere with the people joining us online. Thank you. While we are checking our cell phones, I would like to welcome our online friends. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we appreciate you. Thank you. We are blessed to have as our musicians this morning, Heart Dream. And you can purchase their music CDs on the patio after the service. Let's open our service by focusing our intention through our opening affirmation. Please join me in prayerfully and powerfully speaking it together 3 times. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And again, there is only one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Please join me in reading aloud the statement of our unity, which is found in your bulletin and also on the wall. God's love is within each of us, guiding us to dynamically express our wholeness, wisdom, and abundance. We acknowledge the universal wisdom in the Christ teachings and in all spiritual paths. I now choose to open to the presence of divine love and to be changed that depth. Throughout this sacred time, God is uplifting me and through my heart, the world. And our heart minister, Mike McGarvey, will read today's message from the Unity's Daily Word.
Today's word is strength. The mind of God is the composite of all good thoughts. I am strengthened as I align my thoughts with divine mind. I begin with a time of prayer, acknowledging that God and I are one. I accept that all the strength I need is already within me. If I notice an area of my life that does not appear to be working, I pause to examine my thoughts. Do they reflect the truth of God in me? Am I centered in divine presence? Gently correcting any misalignment, I feel the strength of God surge through me once more. In faith, my mind is lifted to the realm of divine mind. From here, I receive strength. It may come in the form of mental, physical, and spiritual strength, and I rely on it to fill every need. The Bible verse is from Isaiah. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. And today's affirmation is aligned with divine mind. I am strengthened. Could you say that with me, please? Aligned with divine mind, I am strengthened.
And join us in singing Thanks for Loving after a brief introduction.
Thanks
There are many ways we support each other here at Unity. I'll highlight a few of those coming up, and others can be found in your bulletin, in our publication Centerpoint, and in our weekly email newsletter on our website. Today's bulletin is filled with great opportunities to meet and greet Unity friends. Today at 3 o'clock, please join us for Connections and Confections in the community room. If you have found Unity recently or just want to connect with our community in a new way, this is a wonderful opportunity to make those connections. Our annual crab feed tickets go on sale this morning. This fun event is the last Saturday in February. It will be great food, dancing, and raffle prizes, and many extras. And now I'd like to invite Ollie True.
Good morning. So this is the time of year when those New Year's resolutions we made are starting to wear thin. Have you noticed? So what I wanted you to do is to just take a moment to go inside and find that behavior that you wanted to change. Do you know it? You know, like eating that extra piece of pie, whatever it is, right? Smoking a cigarette, shoplifting, I don't know. No judgment, no judgment. So once you have it, I just want to tell you from my heart, honestly, when you do that behavior, you are doing the most wonderful thing you can at that moment. The most wonderful thing you can at that moment. Because we all have, made choices, right? We all have needs. We have needs for security, for belonging, to matter. And that's the strategy you chose in that moment to get that need met. You believe that? And maybe you even chose it because it was less damaging than another thing you could have done. So I want to tell you it was the most wonderful thing you could have done. And pat yourself on the back for doing it. Yes. So if you want to learn more about this crazy strategy that I'm telling you about, this crazy system, come to the Peace Retreat, because peace starts with us. And if we have an inner conflict where we're like saying, oh, you did it again. I can't believe you did it again. Okay, then you have, peace isn't in there, is it? There's no serenity around that. So if you want to find a different way to look at your life with peace, the Peace Retreat is in April at San Damiano. Please sign up, and we'll have so much fun.
If you are here with us for the first time, we are pleased that you have joined us. We would like to extend our special blessing to you. We rub our hands to focus our energy and say together, we love you, we bless you, and we behold the Christ light shining through you. We would appreciate it if you would raise your hands so we can acknowledge you with a shell lay. Welcome. On that shell lay is an affirmation that says, just as God has a design for every shell of the sea, so God has a design for your life. You are invited to join us on the patio after the service where we can have the opportunity to get to know you better. Welcome. And now at this time, please take a moment to enjoy the people around you and welcome them.
Please join us. Heal this body, calm this mind. Fill this heart with love, love for self and love for all mankind. Bless this spirit with the strength to carry on. I'm halfway to heaven. Lord, please lead me on.
Please join us. Heal your body.
Heal this body.
Calm your mind.
Calm this mind. Fill this heart with love, love for self and love for all mankind. Bless this spirit with the strength to carry on. I'm halfway to heaven. Lord, please lead me on. Heal this body.
Heal this body.
Calm this mind.
Calm this mind.
Fill this heart with love, love for self and love for all mankind. Bless this spirit.
Bless this spirit.
With the strength to carry on. I'm halfway to heaven. Lord, please lead me on. Heal this body. Fill this heart with love, love for self and love for all mankind. Bless this spirit, with the strength to carry on. I'm halfway to heaven. Lord, please lead me on. I'm halfway to heaven. Lord, please lead me on. I made my way to heaven. Lord has led me on.
Take that deep breath. And as you breathe in that awareness of this divine love that surrounds you. Let yourself move around and just get comfortable in your seat as we enter into our time of prayer and meditation together. And let the music be part of that gentle guide to the very center of your heart.
Feel God's tender care upon your face.
Let the light come when you feel the glow, and the warmth will turn inside you.
Peace of love, feel the joy of grace. Feel God's tender care upon your face. Feel God's tender care upon your face.
Gently taking that deep breath, breathing in that divine love, being aware that you are completely loved, a love without judgment, a love that accepts and treasures you just the way you are. As you breathe out, resting open and receptive. Mother, Father God, as we
take this journey within, opening to know you more deeply, opening to receive your goodness more completely. We know your love guides us and calls us into that very center, that place where we know that we are one. In this experience, where as spiritual beings we awaken, one of those great gifts is to find that the symbol that speaks to us of that expanded awareness is that of light. So in this place of prayer, I invite you to simply open from within yourself. Let yourself feel that touch of light. Whether it's the light that comes through the cupola, or you remember stepping out into first sunshine this morning, or your mind takes you to that special place on a mountainside or by the ocean where you have rested and felt that warmth of the sun as it bathed you in its light. And that light is but a symbol of that infinite spiritual light that is always there, flowing in and through you. So imagine that light now entering your being, cascading from the very top of your head down through your body, filling your heart into every cell and every system. And as it flows from your feet, touching the ground, it enfolds you in a golden radiance. For that light is pure divine life, making you healthy and whole. It is the illumination of mind and heart as wisdom, intelligence, and understanding. This divine light is that pure touch of love upon your being. And it brings peace. So from that peace, I invite you now to rest in the place of silence, remembering that way that we were called through the psalmist. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Mother, Father, God, infinite love, beloved presence, we acknowledge that you are this experience of love that we find upon our hearts. And we choose to send this love forth to bless and to heal. To send it through our bodies and our lives, into our friendships and family, healing, uplifting, guiding. Sending it across the spiritual community and the communities in which we live, blessing all. We radiate your love across our nation and the nations of the world, healing the fears of all people. We send your love to all who join us in prayer, whether in mosque or synagogue, temple or church. For in seeking to know you, we are all one. Beloved presence, we radiate your love to the earth and to its creatures and to the heart of every single person. For you are that love in every heart. And in that love, we are one. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Please join me. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And once again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. In the joy of that divine presence from each heart. Amen.
Rivers of peace uplift my soul. Waters of love fill every part. Welling up from the light of light, the world is dreamed inside my heart. Rivers of peace uplift my soul. Waters of love fill every part. Welling up from the light of light, the world is dreamed inside my heart.
From the earth, the light will rise.
Crystals buried deep inside.
Share the tales of long ago.
Now's the time for love to grow. Rivers of peace uplift my soul. Waters of love fill every part. Welling up from the light of light, the world is dreamed inside my heart.
And Father sky, its love will never die. Sparring beams of consciousness, flowering love right into bliss.
Rivers of peace uplift my soul. Waters of love fill every part, welling up from the light of lights. The world is dreamed inside my heart. Rivers of peace uplift my soul. Waters of love fill every part, welling up from the light of lights. The world is dreamed inside my heart. Rivers of peace uplift my soul. Waters of love fill every part, welling up from the light of lights. The world is dreamed inside my heart. The world is dreamed inside my heart. The world is dreamed inside my heart.
I like it when they sing it so I don't have to get up here and say anything. Thank you. Well, good morning. Good morning. Wow, so much happening. How many of you got to be here for the Awakening the Dreamer yesterday? Wasn't that wonderful? Wow, what a delightful experience. And we have a new presence up here. When we created our new sanctuary, we asked 2 different artists to create special pieces for us. So the candle holder was by an artist here in San Francisco, and the beautiful wood of our altar table was from an artist on the East Coast that created selected a piece of white oak and brought its beautiful quality alive, and it just journeyed across the country to join us this week. So we're glad to have you here. And I like the journey thing because I've noticed that sometimes I forget it's a journey. Have you had that in your own spiritual growth where suddenly you're in the middle of something and we forget it's a part of something greater, and we begin to get into the drama of the moment? Anybody here do drama? I'm just checking. There's a wonderful picture of a very specific part of our spiritual unfoldment that I got drawn back to recently, and I wanted to share that picture with you because it describes to me so well part of the different steps that we go through as a growing spiritual being, knowing that we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual world, governed by spiritual law, having this amazing experience of humankind. And there's some things that we go through in our growing, in our awakening. So I want to share that with you, and because my guess is we may have been touching a couple parts of that journey. Now, the story is one that's kind of come to public awareness recently. It showed up as in the movie Tangled, which is the story of Rapunzel. Now, they really changed it. I looked at that one, and it's really not the story. So I went back to the fairy tale. And for those of you that haven't had a chance to do a fairy tale with me before, part of the understanding there is that in the course of our awakening ourselves as humankind, that there are archetypal patterns that we're able to pull out and use as a set of symbols that encourage us, support us on our spiritual journey. And that we can choose to be conscious of those symbols because they speak of very real things within us. And I think it's because some of these stories touch those very real patterns and hold them that they've lasted for so long. Now, in this one, I'd forgotten, but one of the most important parts is how it starts. Because in the symbols that are there at the beginning, it's talking about the state of consciousness that we hold, the experiences that we are in, that it has come time to transform and lift to another level. Now, the story begins with Rapunzel's mother and father before the baby's born, before she's born. The mother and father live in their cottage, and the cottage looks on a beautiful garden. And in that garden is a very special plant. It's just filled with life and beauty. And the woman looks at it and really wants that. She just feels like, wow, that vitality, that beauty, if I could only get that, I would feel so good. And so she begins to focus more and more of her time. I just need to have that. And so finally she talks her husband into going over the fence and getting some of that. Now the only problem is that the fence happens to be to who really owns the garden, which is a witch. Okay, and not one of those sweet, Wizard of Oz kind. I mean, this is a very frightening witch that owns this. So the husband goes over and he's able to get it a couple times, but what happens is when she has it, she wants more. So he has to go back over. Oh, us husbands would go, oh yeah, we know. And so finally, the witch catches him. And he explains, my wife just has to have this, and she feels that she's not okay without it. And then she says, oh, that's okay. Then I'll tell you what, you can have as much as you want. And I get your child. When the child is born, the child is mine. And the husband is so frightened that he makes the deal with the witch. State of consciousness. Beautiful picture of a place that we find ourselves. Now, in the tales, all the characters are us. Okay, they're all part of us and who we are. So we are that mom and dad sitting there looking into that garden, believing that something outside of ourselves is going to make us okay. Our mind does that. It looks out and it says, oh, if I just had that relationship, that person would make me whole. Or a relationship. Or that job. Just that bigger bank account that, oh, if I had that job, that would do it. I'd be really okay then. That belief that something outside of us is what is going to make us whole. It is fear of lack. And the witch is fear. And so as we give the power to the outer, and most of us, we have great encouragement to do that. We turn on the television, and its job is to convince us that something out there is going to make us okay. And the more it makes us okay, the more it doesn't make us okay, so we have to get more, the more money they makes, and it works for them. But the state of consciousness leaves us in fear of lack. And so what we understand in the story is that this child that's being born is Spirit lifting us into a new level. A child, a baby, is a new state of consciousness. So there is within us, in response to this fear and this way of looking at life that says, it's what's out there that's going to make me okay. It's what's out there that's going to make me whole. There is this wonderful response by the divine, always saying, come, let me lift you into a greater understanding, into a greater experience of the presence and power of who you really are. And so the baby is born, but the baby is under the control of the witch. The baby grows, and as babies do, they begin to get old enough and start to grow up, and at that point, what we discover is we have almost no control over them. It's just a parent thing. We all figure it out, okay? And but the witch discovers that, but she knows how to handle it. So she takes Rapunzel and puts her up in this tower. And there's no door, there's only a window. And the only way to get up to that tower is for Rapunzel to let down her hair. And the witch regularly goes and calls to her and says, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair. And so she lets it down. And so the witch is able to go up and continue her relationship and control of Rapunzel. Now, the Rapunzel being a female is a symbol of our feeling nature. So what has been growing in us in response to this way of seeing the world, where we are incomplete, we need the world out there to complete us. What grows and what Spirit brings within us is this beautiful development within our feelings. And the hair is the picture of the emanations of the mind. So what the long hair means is that Rapunzel, this part of us, this feeling self, has learned to direct the attention of our mind, and it is directed to the witch. So even though we have this beautiful part of ourself developing in our feelings, it is controlled by our focus on the fear. That's what puts it in the tower. That's what makes it isolated. One of the things that was attractive to me when I looked at this story was, I know it is a universal story. It's something that we all go through. But I thought it was particularly powerful for many of us men. Because one of the things that happens for us is we begin to go through this part of our growth where we have these beautiful feelings. One of the symbols is that Rapunzel is a very beautiful girl. And that beauty is a symbol of that divine presence and the feelings that are a part of that. So we begin to have these beautiful feelings of harmony. We begin to grow in our sensitivity and awareness of a greater goodness. And our fear of that not being accepted, because most of us were raised in conditions where that wasn't the part of us that was encouraged. Okay, get to work, get out there, get the money, get the job, win the game, get the success, whatever it was not a part of, oh, I'm in the midst of this beautiful goodness. Not a real conversation starter round the barbecue over a beer. It's just not, you know. That's not bad. It's just the way things were. Okay? Now, again, it happens for within both male and female. But I kind of had a little identity with that myself. And it is the focus, that our thoughts focus on the fear. I'm not going to be accepted. I'm not going to get what I want. I'm not okay. This part of me isn't okay. The fears that we have have us keep this part of ourselves in our tower, off in isolation. And yet there's something else that happens. There's an advantage of being in isolation. You get a lot of time to yourself. So this part of us grows just with us. Now, what we know in the story is that what begins to go out from the tower, what begins to go out from Rapunzel, is song, beautiful music that she begins to sing. Now, that's a picture of a state of harmony that is accomplished by attunement. And attunement is the result of prayer and meditation. So there is an inner life that has strengthened within her. And in that prayer and meditation comes this greater harmony. And that's what then is expressed as the music goes out. And what it does is it draws the prince. The princess happens to be riding by. Here's the beautiful music. He says, where's that coming from? I want some of that. And that's important to the prince because the prince, being a male symbol, is that part of us that knows intellectually, the thought self, that knows, and see, he knows he is the child of the king. Okay, and the king is a God symbol. So he has the knowledge of truth. He knows that he is a child of God. I am a child of God. Okay, let's all practice being the prince for a moment. I am a child of God. Again, I am a child of God. Now, he knows that, but he doesn't have that female symbol. So it's not something he feels. But that knowledge is touched by the beauty that's coming through the music. There is a world of feeling. It's inviting him. And so he comes and he watches. Our minds are quite smart. And he notices how the witch gets up there. So he goes, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair. And he climbs up and suddenly she goes, whoa. And they get to talk with each other and get together and they find out this is very nice. And so she now has two focuses for her mind. Her mind is focused on the fear when she lets up the witch. And her mind is also becoming focused upon the knowledge of that which is true. Upon the knowledge of truth, the understanding of the spiritual self. And that brings about an amazing experience for Rapunzel. An amazing experience for us. It brings about a state of revelation. And in this awakening, in this expanding awareness, we realize what the difference is between the two. Now in the story, the way it's expressed is Rapunzel has pulled the witch up and they're talking, and Rapunzel says to the witch, I notice when the prince climbs up my hair, he is so light. When you climb up, you are so heavy. Okay? In other words, the fear drains us. We come to the understanding that our focus upon those fears that we have drain our energy, are heavy, our burdens to carry. And that when we focus upon that which is truth, that which is true about our spiritual being, which is our spiritual connection, that uplifts us. That we experience lightness, illumination. So that's a tremendous change in our lives, because that's the point at which we go into conscious choice. I now choose consciously where to put my attention. Powerful, powerful moment. But of course, that's not quite okay with the witch. Because the witch realizes at that point she doesn't have control. Once we have conscious choice, fear does not have control over us, because we can choose to not do fear. So she cuts off Rapunzel's hair. Now she can't keep her in the tower anymore without the hair. So she banishes her to a desert place. Okay? Again, to me, this is a very powerful part of our experience, because what happens is when we're choosing to no longer be obsessive with where we place our minds, then these feelings are put in a desert place, a place that is not supportive and nurturing and filled with life and vitality, but rather is bleak. It's called depression. Okay? Now, it shows up a lot in spiritual literature, but we treat it kind of nicely. The Bible does not say Jesus went into a state of depression for 40 days and 40 nights. It says he wandered in the desert. Okay? But we know what that means. And the truth is, this is a very valid part of our experience. You see, prior to this, our focus of attention was on the fear. That's what motivated our lives. So I had to get a good job because I might not have enough money. And I had to get recognized because I might not be okay without it. And I had to have that right relationship because, my goodness, what would I be if somebody just didn't tell me I was so wonderful? And suddenly we aren't afraid. It's okay to be who we are. I have had so many people say to me, Reverend David, I love the way that we're taught that we can have peace, that we can really experience, no matter what's going on in our world. But you know what? I'm afraid it's going to be so boring. All right. Well, it's an issue. After all that drama, after we've driven our lives with, oh my God, and what if, and how could they, and all that stuff. What would it be like to be at peace? Kind of depressing, huh? And so part of what happens is this part of ourselves is without the stimulus. It's in the desert. So Rapunzel has to learn how to be. She can't obsess with the mind anymore. She doesn't want to feed the fear. So at that point, she has to learn about being. But there's still a prince. Okay, so the prince goes up the hair. The witch is smart. Kept that hair. Get the prince up here. But the prince has knowledge. So he looks at the fear. He looks at the witch. And he chooses to not give her power. So he jumps from the window. The story says that he fell into thorns, and the thorns caused pain and blindness. Okay, so what happens is when the fear no longer is controlling us, if we do not wish for the fear to control, we have to face, honestly, our pain. And when we look honestly at the pain that we experience in life, one of the things that happens is we enter into blindness. We're confused. We don't know how to comprehend it, to understand where I'm a child of God. Why am I in pain? This horrible thing happened. How could God let that happen? Why me? All the things of blindness, because we are not able to see the whole. As the prince wanders, he hears the singing from Rapunzel. In that place within, in that desert place, she returns to attunement, to the prayer, the meditation, the attunement to who she is, and the beauty of that being begins to express. The music draws the prince. And so the knowledge that both you are the child of God and of the pain that you have wandered through in this life is brought into that world of feeling. And the response by Rapunzel is the tears of compassion. The response from that feeling world within you, attuned to the divine presence, is the tears of compassion. Compassion heals pain. Compassion heals pain. Say it with me. Compassion heals pain. Again, compassion heals pain. You've seen it. You have felt it. It has touched you in different ways and at different times. So you know it to be true. Once again, compassion heals pain. So as her tears of compassion, she is feeling. So that feeling of love and compassion that flows from her to this knowledge of that which is pain, that which is hurt, brings about healing. And his eyes are opened, and he is whole and well. Compassion heals pain. The power to make us whole is within, not without. You will not heal your pain with a different person or with enough money or with anything that you find in the outer. It heals from within. And so we see the wholeness, the feelings attuned to that divine presence of love and compassion, and the knowledge of who you really are, radiant, beautiful children of the Most High. And with that, you get to enter into a different state of consciousness. So they go back. He's a prince. He's got a kingdom. He says, let's go. They go back to the kingdom and live. And they live. Once again, they live. That's the truth. Because all of that comes from within. Bless you.
Thank you, Reverend David, for that wonderful message of love and compassion. If you would like prayer support for challenges or celebrations, our heart ministers will be available after the service in the sanctuary and also on the patio. Our heart ministers are wearing the lavender stoles. You are also invited to place a prayer request in our prayer box by the front door or also in the book center, and we will be praying with you throughout the week. It's time for our prosperity celebration. Please remember, if you are giving a Love in Action donation, to please use the envelopes marked Love in Action. I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and be aware that God is the source of all our good. Repeat our affirmation together with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Listen, people, we all got to live together on this earth. So don't squander, no, don't squander the miracle of human birth. The Lord has given to us all the tools that we might need. So let's put our minds right to it. Have no doubt we will succeed. Because that's the spirit. When you see yourself in the one you're talking to, that's the spirit. When you feel a wave of hope wash over you, that's the spirit. When the quiet inner voice is calling you, that's the spirit. Whoa, 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 whoa. don't dwell upon the past. There is no time like the present. The time to rise up is at hand. So let's look inside our hearts now. We'll reveal the divine plan. Because that's the spirit. When you see yourself in the one you're talking to, that's the spirit. When you feel the wave of hope wash over you, that's the spirit. When the quiet inner voice is calling you, that's the spirit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Listen, people, listen to the music play. That's the spirit. When you see yourself in the one you're talking to, that's the spirit. When you feel a wave of hope wash over you, that's the spirit. When the quiet inner voice is calling you, that's the spirit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's the spirit.
Right. Thanks to our children for coming in to share our final prayer and song together. So let's bless our children. Children, you are loved, special, and important. God loves you, and so do we. All right. And we receive these gifts, knowing that the true gift given here is that commitment on each of our hearts to touch this world in a way that brings forth its wholeness, its beauty, and its peace. And that Christ's joy. Amen. Amen. So let's stand and take hands and share together our prayer of protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our peace song. the love and the light and the peace in the earth right now. So let it shine and have fun.
Listen, people, we all got to live together on this earth. So don't squander, no, don't squander. Miracle of human birth. The good Lord has given to us all the tools that we might need. So let's put our minds out to it. Have no doubt we will succeed. Because that's the spirit. When you see yourself in the one you're talking to, that's the spirit. When you feel a wave of hope wash over you, that's the spirit. When the quiet inner voice is calling you, that's the spirit. Whoa, 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 whoa.